I'm a Raider, Oakland Raider, from the Bay to LA to Las Vegas.
Just
I'm
win,
a
baby.
player, a boss player, and if you with me, pop your collar, shake them haters. I'm a Raider, Oakland Raider, from the Bay to LA to Las Vegas. Cause I'm a player, boss player, and if you with me, pop your collar, shake them haters. I'm a Raider.
What is going on, Real Raiders Podcast? I'm your host, Victor Freeze, back at it again. Once again, Mariano is not here, man. He's stuck at work, unfortunately, but we'll see you back next week, player. But the show must go on like it always does, man. I know I wasn't here last week. I went on a little vacation, and maybe that was some bad juju because the Raiders are 3-1. I went down to LA last week, not for the game or anything. I went in the middle of the week, usually when I record this, for my friend's birthday. Maybe it's some bad juju that I went down to LA, man. We caught that L last week, but anyways, on to the next week, man. I got 3 topics for you this week. I got the news and notes like we always do, week in, week out, update you on the things you might have missed throughout the week. We're going to do a reaction to the Chargers game, and then we're going to do a preview to the game against the Bears this week. So, let's not waste any time. Let's get right into it, man. So, with the news and notes. So, on the top of my list right here is Joey Bosa calling Derek Carr soft, man. And, you gotta keep your mouth quiet, man. You obviously don't watch our games. I mean, you watch them on film, of course, but Derek Carr, he played with the broken back, broken finger, whole season. I don't want to hear none of that, bro. Derek Carr is one of the toughest quarterbacks in the league, man. Don't play him like that, Joey. You're a good player and all, but don't play my man Derek Carr like that. He's a tough SOB. Shut your mouth, Joey. And then on top of that, some more disrespect. We got Stephen A. Smith and Bleacher Report calling us pretenders. Bro, what is everyone? We can get one loss and it's just coming after the Raiders next. The NFL, the fans, everyone hates Raider Nation. That's why it's us against the world, man. But as far as this is concerned, bro, this is a division game against one of the better teams in the NFL right now. The Chargers are playing lights out right now, man. Greatly improved from last season, and they're a real playoff team. This race in the AFC West, bro, it's like, honestly, it's just like the NFC West. They have so many great teams on both sides. To call us pretenders after one loss, bro, I ain't having that. Stephen A. Smith, shut your mouth. Bleacher Report, shut your mouth. Going on to my next news and notes, we're going to talk about injuries. Unfortunate injuries. The big names right here in the injuries is Trayvon Mullen, Damon Arnett, Peyton Barber, and Derek Carrier. They're all dealing with injuries that's looking like it's going to keep them out for the following game. We don't know to what extent these injuries are. Hopefully it's not long-term injuries, right? We haven't had any news on those yet. Maybe by this time this video is posted, there might be some new news on it. The one that hurts the most here, obviously, is Trayvon Mullen. Stephon Gilmore was going to get released by the Patriots, and then 2 minutes later, the Panthers went calling and got him for a bag of Doritos. I know a lot of people were talking about the cap hit or whatever, but the Patriots eat up most of the cap hit. So it would have been like a $5 million cap hit that we would have taken. And that would have been great to have Stephon Gilmore, especially if Trayvon Mullen has to miss like a significant amount of time. Because, man, I know Casey Hayward's holding it down, but we have Amik Robertson on the other side. So, oh no, he's a little shorter than what we usually deal with over here. But, we'll see how it plays out. But Amik did play good in Mullen's absence last week. So, we'll see. Along with those players I just named, we have Unique Ngakoue, Josh Jacobs, Jonathan Abram, and Colton Miller were all limited at practice this week, but they all should be good to go. A player that we do have returning is Keyshawn Nixon. He's back at practice. He's a cornerback, in case y'all don't know. And this is perfect timing because we are, like I said, we are so thin at the cornerback position. We even signed someone. What the hell was his name? I just had it up here. Hold on. Give me 1 second. Signed him off for someone's practice squad. It's right here. Brandon Faison off the Chargers practice squad. And this move is basically because we're so thin at cornerback right now. So don't expect much. He's a practice squad guy for a reason. And then my last note that I have here is Alex Leatherwood is playing at guard. He was taking some reps at guard, so we might see him at guard this week. We might have Brandon Parker holding down the right tackle side. If you guys haven't seen, there's a graphic going around, basically the PFF grades. This is thanks to Mitchell Renz. He made this graphic. There's this graphic going around, and it has, Alex Leatherwood graded at 31. I believe John Simpson and Andre James are also graded in the 30s as far as offensive linemen, and that's horrible, man. I'll talk more about that in the Chargers reaction section, but Alex Leatherwood was a guy that could play either tackle or on the inside, so don't look at this switch to guard as he's a bust, right? Because we're just putting him in a position to win. That's all that matters. It doesn't matter if he's going to be a tackle or whatever, as long as we need to give Carr enough time to throw. And Brandon Parker showed some promise when he did have to step in, so that's good. So we're going to put Brandon Parker right tackle, Alex Leatherwood right guard. Andre James has been struggling. They're gonna keep on giving him a shot, I believe, though. Would like to see Nick Martin in for a couple of reps. Maybe see spell Andre James if he's not doing too hot. Left guard, we're gonna have John Simpson. Although I would rather have a Luminor because he's been graded out better and he's done better than John Simpson has. And of course, we're gonna have Colton Miller holding down the left tackle side. We desperately need Incognito. We need him back because, man, it's going to be a big boost on our line. But we'll see how Leatherwood goes playing at guard. I'm looking forward to this. I think Brandon Parker, he'll step up for the meantime, but definitely in the draft, this is going to be just expect our first round pick to go to an offensive lineman. So don't expect no new toys or nothing like that. We're going to get a big ugly with our first round pick. I'm telling you right now. So I'm done with the news and notes, man. Moving on to the reaction to the Chargers game. So first of all, we got off to a super slow start, man. We looked like a whole different offense that we've been in the past, 3 weeks. It looked like a whole different team was out there. It looked like it was not the Las Vegas Raiders. I think part of that is we need to get better at the play calling, man. It was like, oh my God. And Gruden even said so himself in the presser, like some of that play calling was not the best, man. And we gotta not be so predictable, man. Like, it was ugly. That play calling was ugly. Part of the reason why was obviously this O-line play wasn't giving Derek Carr the opportunity to, get the ball down the field and, go through his reads and properly, distribute the ball. But hopefully we get some of that together this week. We'll talk more about that later. We've seen that the offensive line struggled tremendously, which is obviously why Alex Leatherwood is working inside rather than outside. So even as ugly as the game was going into the second half, we are a second half team, bro. We make some great adjustments. It's been shown before. we came back and we still had a chance to win this, right? Unfortunately, we did not capitalize when we should have, and the game ended up 28-14, but it could have easily, but it was 21-14, and on that drive, we didn't take advantage of it, and we have to play more aggressive, like the Chargers were playing that game. Those fourth down plays that they kept on converting, bro, that's disrespectful to me, honestly. I find that disrespectful when the team decides to go on it, go for it on fourth down against you. That means they don't respect your defense, they don't respect your play calling, none of that. I be getting disrespected, son. I don't know about y'all, but we need to be more aggressive and play like the Chargers were playing, because how they played against us and the Chiefs, man, they're not trying to lose this season, bro. That's facts. This is a tough division game against a better Chargers team. They're not the same Chargers of last season. Herbert is an amazing quarterback, bro. Him and Patrick Mahomes are going to be problems for years to come in this division. Our quarterback's a little bit older, so we'll see if he'll be facing off against them for a long time too, but I know those guys are going to be here for 10 years minimum in our division, so we'll see. Anyways, but it's a tough division game. Can't win them all, unfortunately. Cardinals are the only team that are undefeated in the NFL now, but I think we got them back once we get at home. I think it was technically a home game for us, but I think we got the Chargers when we get back to Las Vegas, no doubt, in my mind. If we don't, then I don't believe we're a playoff caliber team. But the only thing missing is getting that offensive line together, so we'll see how that plays out. It's still a young season, all right? And speaking of young season, we're moving on to our Week 5 game against the Bears, right? So, I just want to say this. A lot of people are looking at this as a guaranteed W. This is not a guaranteed W. This is any given Sunday in the NFL, so we can't go into this lightly, especially with the Raiders' track records, man. They always, go into a game that they should win, and it's a trap game, man. They end up getting blown out, and it just doesn't go the way that we think it's going to go. And, especially with our O-line situation right now, you got to be weary of thinking that this is an easy W. You know what I'm saying? The Bears have a solid defense, and against the way our O-line is looking right now, it might be closer than you think, to be honest. So, my keys to this game, I think we got to start off fast, man. I think we got to start off and hit some deep shots in the first drive. Take some down the rugs, down the field, and, this is a great defense that we're playing, and I think we just got to switch it up from the game plan to run, little pass, run, pass shit that we were doing last week, because that obviously didn't work. I think this week we change it up and start off, and even the first possession, just fucking dial one up deep to rugs, see how it goes. But keep the defense guessing, keep the defense honest, because this is a good defense. So in order to do these kind of things, we have to establish the run. It might help having Leatherwood on the inside, because he is such a dominant run blocker. The running game might be better this week, just because the offensive line might do better as a whole. His last week was atrocious, bro. It was horrendous. Worst offensive line play I've seen from the Raiders in years. But if we establish the run in this game, then we can, have better play calling, I believe. Because everything starts, you establish the run, you open up your playbook. That's how every coach views it, right? So that's one thing we need to focus on, because we have an amazing back in Josh Jacobs, who hasn't been looking amazing. You know what I'm saying? That's all I got for the offensive side of the ball. Other than that, we know the wide receivers and tight ends, and they all got it covered on that side. Going on to the defense side of the ball, we know that Justin Fields is starting for the Bears this week, right? So this is like another situation with Lamar Jackson, right? So what we got to do is contain him, because he makes plays with his legs. So we got to make sure that we contain him. Look, man, this man has not been having good performances. Even last week, it was against the Lions, I believe, right? Let me double check that. Double check that. Yep, it was against the Lions, man. Even against the Lions, man, he did not put up no killer stats or nothing, bro. Let me tell you his stats real quick, bro. Let me tell you, bro. 11 for 17 for 209, no touchdowns, 1 interception, and he rushed 3 times for 9 yards. So if this man comes out and makes us look stupid, bro, there's no way. The way we've been playing, especially against Lamar Jackson, we played against fucking Big Ben, we played against fucking Brissett, Herbert, you know what I'm saying? Like, bruh, this is probably like the weakest quarterback we played. So if he comes out and makes us look stupid, bruh, can't do that. Can't do that. Contain him, bruh. Alright. So the next matchup that we want to keep our eye on is definitely the corners. You know, as I said earlier, the corner position is thin right now. We're going to be probably looking at Casey Hayward and Amik Robinson on the outside, and of course Nate Hobbs on the inside. We do have Allen Robinson, Darnell Mooney, Cole Kmet, whatever. We do have a problem stopping the tight end, though. That's the issue. Denzel Perryman does look to be exposed. In the last, I'd say, 2 games, he's been exposed by the tight end position. But that's what's new against the Raiders. We always suck at fucking covering the tight end. But one thing to keep an eye on, obviously, Allen Robinson is an amazing wide receiver. He just fucking never has a quarterback. And Darnell Mooney obviously has been getting the attention of Justin Fields. So we'll see who Casey Hayward is going to go on. I think Allen Robinson is the better player, so I hope he stays on Allen Robinson. But we just got to keep an eye out because, you know, if one of those corners go down, what are we going to do after that? You know, Keyshawn Nixon going to go in. What if he goes down? We had multiple injuries at corner last week, so that's all I got to say about that. And then, what do I think is going to be the outcome of this game? Personally, I think we're going to win this game. I think we're gonna win by a score of, let's say, say 31-17. 31-17. We need a big game. We need a bounce back game. I think this is a good bounce back game, but we can't underestimate this team. I think 31-17 is good. I think our offensive line plays better this game. And I think, Amik Robertson holds it down with Casey Hayward. So I'm a little worried, obviously because of our offensive line and cornerback situation, but I think we're good. I think this is a bounce back game for our team and get some confidence going into the following week. Definitely. So that's it, y'all. That's all I got for this episode of the Real Raiders podcast. I forgot to mention at the beginning of the episode, but we do have a call-in number to call in. It will be right here, right there. Comment, or text or whatever. Call, text, whatever you want. Any question, anything you want to say on the show, and it'll get featured on here. We still have yet to have anyone call in or do any of that, but we're looking forward to it. And that's it. Let me know what you guys think about this matchup against the Bears. Let me know if I'm missing anything important. And yeah, man, that's it. Real Raiders podcast. We out of here.